of live DIY over on my business page on Facebook. And so I'm just finishing up the project because I overestimated how much I could do in an hour's time. But this is what I got made so far, is this envelope. And if you're wanting to see how that went, make sure that you go over and check out my business page, Prairie Scraps. I did it in an event, so there's lots of Valentine's Day. So we are making these stuffies to go inside of this envelope. And I want to get a few more in here, maybe 3. I'm going to make 5. So that's what we're going to make. And then I just need to kind of finish this one up. I've got some ideas. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. So glad you're here. And we're just going to kind of continue on. What I did was I used an Amazon package to make that mailer. And then I also used the other side of the Amazon package to make these little hearts on them. And basically what I did was I pasted the pattern on here. This is a vintage pattern. And then I used some patterns that I found. I just Googled it. The sunriseandcreate.com is where I got it. They had 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5-inch heart. And I just actually pinned it together and cut 2 sides at a time. And that's where we're at. So we are going to get these ready and get them into that mailbox. I'm waiting for my hot glue gun to just heat up here. It does get kind of excruciatingly hot, and I don't want too fat. And you could do whatever. You could use any kind of glue that you would like for this project. And I'm just going around the outside edge. Oops, I want to get it on there so that I can come back. And if you wanted this to look a little bit more vintagey, I would highly suggest going ahead and doing a little bit of brown around the edges, like some stain, you know, like antique, or you can use the ink around the outside edges. That is also doable. I'm going to grab some, I've got some polyester polyfill. I'm going to use, ooh, I like scored that open in the middle. That's not good. I'm going to pull from that side. Okay, it doesn't take very much polyfill to get them filled. So I left the bottom done because I want to put these on a little stick to get them. And it doesn't matter. You don't have to do a ton of polyfill in here if you don't want to, or in my case, if you've glued yourself in, you know, it doesn't take very much. You can just put in a little bit. We just want to give it some depth on there. It's kind of funny. This is done with cherry is the color of paste that I use to make that with a damask. Is that pretty? It almost looks, the paper almost looks like it's gold in color. So you could also edge the outside with gold, which would be really pretty. Little gold. So first I want to get this, I've got some dowels. These come in a 12-pack at wood dowels from Dollar Tree. And so our Dollar Tree has changed to a Family Dollar. So we no longer have Dollar Tree. So I just want to get the sides finished up here while I'm holding it all down. You want to hold it down really good, because in my experience, and be careful, my experience, if you don't hold it down, because this is such a stiff paper, it comes apart. And I also think when I was talking about, hello, Tara. Good to see you. I'm glad you're here. Didn't get that one side. So I'm just closing it up still here. Try not to squeeze it out, the glue. Just trying to, ooh, hot. Just do the little one. I really like the white. The white is actually, it's called vanilla. It's a vanilla paste. Let's keep that shut there. If I don't sit and hold it, I should clamp it maybe. Oh, I could use a, get this one started. See if I can do things one-handed. The vanilla is, so I'm an independent designer with Chalk Couture, so I used Chalk Couture transfer and paste to do this. I don't know about you guys, but like in January, I try not to, I always feel like, oh, I gotta conserve and clean up and not buy any more craft supplies so much. And this like kind of is kind of a nice project because I put a little clip. I don't have any more of those clips, so I'm gonna have to hold this one. Oops, go in there. Might help to just wait. So I'm just going around the outside edge and putting hot glue on there. You could use other kinds of glues too. The nice thing about hot glue, you could also sew around here on your sewing machine. You can sew paper. I don't know if you knew that. All right. Takes so long for this to set up. It's so hot. It's still very hot to touch. I think we got that one. There we go. Isn't that cute? So the other idea you could do is make these like stand on a shelf or a mantle. My husband, we had some Hobby Lobby splits. You could put them like just like that. So we'll see if we've got enough left over to do that. I've definitely got enough. Ooh, this one. I've like broken through everywhere, haven't I? This one's just come apart. So that paper is really stiff, especially like, I'm gonna stick this down in there so I don't have the stuffing up here. Especially like this is where a sticker is, so it's kind of, it's struggling. Be very careful so you don't burn yourself when you're using hot glue. But because it's so stiff, it's sort of pulling away from itself. Isn't that cute? And it doesn't have to be a huge amount of, you know, polyfill in there whatsoever. It can just be a little bit. In fact, this one's not giving us much room for anything here. The other thing I like to use for stuffing is old, like, grocery bags, the plastic grocery bags. Or you can use, like, fabric scraps, too. That totally works. Let's see if we, ooh, I closed that up entirely. When I squeezed it, when I stuck it together, it sort of stuck everything in there, so. Not much going in this one. Just gently pushing it in there so that it kind of opens up the where we glued it. All right, get our stick glued here, and then stick it in, and glue the edges. I did learn with the trees, when I did the trees at Christmas time, you can go back and watch the video for it. I did learn with the trees that it was better to stick the dowel up a little bit. Kind of get it in there so that it had a little bit more space. This looks like a little lollipop. Is that cute? We're going to use this in a decor. I made a little envelope to hang on the door, and we're going to use this like as a kind of like a floral pick for Valentines. Ooh, don't get your fingers. I was trying to stick it in there and slipped. I'm going to set that down. Set that down. So anyway, you can make these. You could also, if you wanted to put a string on it, you could hang these up. Make like little ornaments. I'm going to get this one started because the glue is taking a little bit of time to set up, cool off. Just want to get it going. Funny how it won't stick, and then when you do set something on there, it's totally stuck. It's just funny how that works. All right, a little more polyfill here. Polyfill you usually kind of just do a little at a time. No matter what you're stuffing, whether it's a doll or... I used some polyfill in the doll I made for my granddaughter at Christmas, so it's good I had it on hand. You can also use it for pillows and things like that. And I at Christmas time, I totally used it for making those trees, the standing trees. So if you haven't seen that, go back and watch it. Oops. Did not stick on the one side. So now we're coming apart. We're coming undone. Try sticking my dowel in there at the same time as shutting this off. Hot. Sometimes I use a dowel. I've also got those silicone finger covers. But I find with the silicone, first of all, I can't ever find them all. And they don't stick on my fingers very well. And I end up using the fingers I don't have covered anyway. I'm going to push this in like this. Oops, got a little out. That didn't work. I can always go back if I get this polyfill sticking out. I can always go back and... ouch. Cut it off. Or we can leave it sticking out as a little edging. It is hot through the paper for a long time. So I hope if you're here right now, isn't that vanilla just beautiful? That you'll consider following me and liking. Give me a little loving. Subscribe, I guess is the word. And hit that notification bell. That will help out a ton. Because then you'll know when I go live. Okay. There we go. Oops, I can see already where we didn't get attached here on the outside edge. Get that put together. Now it's stiff from that glue. This paper is something else. When Amazon first started sending in paper and saying, oh, make sure you recycle your paper, whatever, recycle it. They had nice, thick, and kind of padded mailers, and now it's more like a paper bag. So that's kind of what we're working with here is paper bag. I'm going to stick this in and make sure I can get in there. Yep. So get some polyfill for this one. That one did not stick. I thought it was going to stick. Where'd that little clip go? Get that clip on there. The clip works nice. I should get some of those. I've looked at it several times at Dollar Tree. They have those little tiny clips. I need to get some of those, but I always have all kinds of things I need as well at Dollar Tree. So I just went to Dollar Tree. I was collecting things for Operation Christmas Child. I actually went to 2 Dollar Trees, and one of the Dollar Trees had a whole cart of things that said, you know, was a penny a thing. Dig for it, it said. The sign said. And I was like, yes, ma'am, I will. So I was so excited that they had penny clearances. So I got 121 items at Dollar Tree for $1.31. Oh my goodness, I was so excited. I was so excited. Isn't that exciting? And I got them all for Operation Christmas Child to fill shoe boxes. So if you're not familiar with Operation Christmas Child, check it out. It is a great way to get the word of Jesus out to children in places where they have not heard of Christ. Ouch. And they get a shoebox full of toys and clothes and shoes and all that kinds of stuff. So I got stickers, and I got, for a penny a piece, penny a pack for the stickers. And then I got, let me see, I got hairbrushes. I got some little coloring books, some board books. Headbands, a penny a piece. I don't know. Then I went to, so we have two in the area that we go grocery shopping to. And came back to Lewiston, Idaho, and that one didn't have a stitch of clearance items. Nothing. Not one item. So I don't know if they got bought out right away or... Look at these. Aren't these cute? Oh my goodness. I'm so excited. They're so cute. So cute. I might go ahead and try to do a little bit of... Isn't that cute? I think it's so fun that... I guess I could turn a light on here. That it's, oops, a little bit up here needs to be in. Pretty much recycled materials for the most part, or Dollar Tree in this case for dowels. You could use chopsticks for the sticks. You could use skewers. I was like trying to think of the name of it. Sorry. All right, back to our envelope that we made. And then I made these with the tiles. I made them with foam board. Cut them out. We have a tile transfer that makes the Scrabble tiles. Isn't that fun? Word tiles, it's called. All right, let's see what we can come up with here. So the question is, do we want 2? Do we want 3? Do we want 5? It's like a whole forest here. You could do as many or as few as you want. We could put some little ribbons around there. I've also got, let's see, I'm going to keep working on this here. I kind of like the 5. I think it's a nice combination. I might have to do some gluing down. And actually, I have an idea. I have this came in a mailer. This was like, this might actually work really nicely in here to kind of shove it up in there. I got this was packing in a package, and I'm like, that's some nice little paper there. I'm going to use that. I've got sort of a red... Let's see if we can't get some greens. It's hard to do this upside down, I'm not going to lie. And we're going to want to There. Oh, that looks nice right there. Oops. I'm gonna show our goods off here. Sorry, I'm gonna look at it so I can see where I want to put it. I do like that brown paper as filler. That's nice. I love that a lot better than moss. You could use moss, but moss, if you've watched me any amount of time, moss is not my favorite medium. Just not my favorite. It always gets everywhere. Of course, I'll probably have paper everywhere too. Oops, let's get that back on. Get some of this out of our way. Definitely am needing to get my transfers. So these are I used reusable transfers to do this. And I think I do want to do just a little bit of, this is Dixie Belle Gel Stain Tobacco Road. I'm going to do a little bit around the outside edges just to give it an oldish look. Listen. This just looks a little bit too new. Kind of a dry brush around the outside edges. We just want it to look oldish. I'm going for a vintage effect here. Oops. Hit up my tiles a little bit. I definitely love how those tiles look. That is probably my favorite part of this whole thing. I'll go a little heavy down here on the bottom because when I did this red, this is cherry paste, and I didn't go super heavy with it on purpose because I didn't want it to, just want it to have kind of a vintagey look. And I just think this is definitely adding to it, having this brown little bit around the edges, kind of catching the tiles a little bit here. You don't ever use, unless you're staining like a whole piece of furniture, you really don't use a whole lot of this stain, but sometimes I do. Just depends how the project is going. I'm going a little crazy today, so I might use a little more. Don't use much. And I just put my brush in it and then kind of dab off of it a little bit. Try not to make a mess out of myself or my counter here. All right, now what do we do up here? This is just a piece of wire that was at Dollar Tree as well. Came in a round. There's different colors. I think it was a Christmas thing. Just trying to get in here with the brown a little bit so it doesn't look like just went around the outside edges only. We want it to like kind of blend in. You don't want it to look like paintbrush. All All right, let's see if we can't hit some of these up a little bit. Just a little bit. Not a lot. Okay, so that one hit a lot. Just gives it a little bit more character. Makes it look vintagey. At least in my opinion. Just gives it a little bit more depth. Oops, get the little one. You could also stain the sticks. All right, now let's start attaching. So we've got this all attached. We've got this on here. Oh, I was gonna look because I have this cute little messy bow here that I had made at one point, maybe for Christmas, I don't know. But it certainly is, it just didn't go right on the piece I had. So we'll see. I'm thinking this is, is it too much? Maybe it needs to go up here. Thing is, I like the bows off to the side, but if you put it off to the side too far, it like makes it hang weird. Hide the back of the envelope. Well, this will be on the wall or on the door, so it won't matter. It'll be just fine. I think we'll tack this one on here. Just doing a little bit of gluing in here so it stays. And yet, I want it to be 3D. Tacked in here. Some of that, all that painting we did, and you know, it doesn't all show, but I think it's worth it to really get it to look nice. Thank you so much. All right. Might be the spot. Little glue spot I can see. It's going to bother me. It'll bother me. Oops, that one did not stick. Oh, it is sticking. Sorry, it's kind of a weird angle, but I want to make sure it looks like what we want. That's kind of how I want it. So we're gonna tack that one in there. See if we can't get some of this. Just sort of tacking it on in a couple places so that it just holds. This one never did stick, I guess. Good thing I shut that. Get the end of this and just sort of stick it in. I can definitely feel it through, so. Can even like maybe brace something in here so that you kind of brace up the got these red buttons and I wasn't thinking about using them except that I really think this little bow needs something in the middle. So I'm gonna hit that up in the middle too. Which way is up? As long as we got the hot glue out here. The little red button on there. Cute. Cute, cute, cute. And I've got plenty more, like, out of the scraps. I've still got, like, more hearts I can cut out here. So I'm kind of just setting those off to the side, and that'll be the next project. Here's what it started out to be. Here's how my envelope started out. This one's a little bit bigger. I had a bigger piece. This is a smaller piece of Amazon because I tried it out. Did a little research before I went with it. All right, let's see if we can't get this. I'm gonna cut off those strings. I don't like them. I think we're gonna go almost near the center here for this. Little bow. I think for right now, I'm not gonna hot glue that thing on, this bow, because I wanna just see if that's what I like or not. I'll probably put it on the door and stand back. But there it is. Let's see if we can put it up a little. Isn't it cute? Isn't it cute? I think we got it. Hopefully that'll stick. Isn't it cute? What a great idea, right? Almost all recycled materials. Just using a transfer, some paint, a lot of hot glue. But thank you so much for joining me. I hope that you all have a very blessed day. And make sure you keep on crafting. Do all the things here too, by the way.